Hello, happy Thursday morning and happy weekend 2 of Hello Weekend Readathon. I am so excited about this weekend because it's the end of my fall break. I feel like I have been doing a lot over fall break and I'm excited to just kind of chill at home and be cozy. I have not done my rolls yet, but I did just wake up. Like I said, I'm on my fall break, so I know for a lot of people this weekend isn't starting until after work, but I'm home, so I'm gonna go ahead and start. I've got my coffee in my cute little, he's a little smirking ghost mug, and I also just made breakfast. I don't get to make breakfast a lot because I wake up so early for work that when I'm home and I can just make a breakfast, so good. I am a weirdo that eats ketchup on my eggs. Please don't judge me, but I have got some lovely grapes and I made eggs with spinach, mini sweet peppers, and mushrooms with a little bit of Parmesan sprinkled on top. I just dropped my fork. Cool, I'll take care of that in a second. But I also wanted to show you guys my nails. They're a little bit ridiculous. I don't really like the shape, but I just had to do them. They're these matte black nails with little kooky cats on them. They're too long for my fingers and I prefer a more almond shape, and these are just oval from top to bottom, but you can't deny that they're cute. Okay, I'm gonna go replace my fork, eat breakfast, and then we're gonna roll the dice together and figure out what we're reading this weekend. I swear every noise that just could start in my apartment just started, so don't mind the dishwasher and don't mind the air conditioner and don't mind my dirty laptop screen, but let's roll our dice. We are going to try and get the equipment and the ghost this weekend. 3. Y'all, I got all 3s last week too. Okay. Well, we are leaving the living room and we are going to enter the dining room. So we're just gonna go up 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna try and get to that camera this weekend. So that is prompt number 9. We're gonna go to prompts, the red room, read a new release or do something to appreciate the season, and we are in the creepy room, so it needs to be a new release that is creepy. Okay, we needed a creepy new release. And I might be stretching the creepy just a little bit, but I think we can all agree that ghosts are creepy. And I think we can all agree that this is a new release. And so the book I'm picking up is Soul Searching by Lila Sage. This is I don't know, this is my most anticipated romance of the year. And that's saying something as an Emily Henry and an Abby Jimenez lover. But after having just fallen head over heels with the Rebel Blue Ranch series, I can't see myself not loving this. And she talks to ghosts. It's a creepy book, okay? You can't convince me otherwise. So this is gonna be my book pick to start this weekend. And I typically fly through a Lila Sage book, so I don't want to say I'm gonna finish it in one day, but I think I should finish this by tomorrow morning. I got nothing on the agenda except going to play pickleball tonight for the first time since my back injury. But other than that, I'm sprinting today. I'm hosting sprints, so this is going down. I've got my ghost mug, my ghost book. I think that this might be the best weekend of the whole readathon. I think it might be. I'm so excited. I just looked at the document and I made a mistake. I was reading the prompts for the red room, not the orange room. So we're not in the library, we're in the dining room, but my book still works because it says read a book with a favorite trope. People talk to ghosts, small town. There's a lot of tropes in here. So oops, but it still works. So if you called me and you were like, that's the wrong room, I fixed it. We're good now. Okay, I'm sitting in the same spot, but we rotated to give you a new angle because I've been sitting here all morning. But I am on sprints now, and I am now 5 chapters into Soul Searching, so I'm able to at least give you kind of an update of the setup of this book. We are following Collins, who is not from the Sweetwater Peak area, which is where these books are set, but she is coming back home because there was an incident, and we don't know what that incident was, but she is driving home and the town is on the peak, and so she is driving up, going up the switchbacks, and all of a sudden her car breaks down. There's smoke coming out of it. My slipper just fell into the tripod, so if you shook a little bit, I'm so sorry. But her car breaks down and her twin sister comes and finds her. Unbeknownst to Collins, there is a man with her sister, and this is who she sees at the window of her car. And if you were like stuck, stranded in your car, and you had pepper spray, and you see a man's face in your window, wouldn't you pepper spray him too? Because I would. But she pepper sprays this guy and then finds out he's actually friends with her sister, her twin sister. And not only that, this is the man who is providing her a place to stay, an apartment to rent that is kind of like a roommate, but also kind of like her own apartment. It's a whole thing that happens in the book. And we're also getting the view of Brady, who is the town upholsterer. Guys, I don't know who my town upholsterer is, but he doesn't look like this. Anyway, you can tell right from the beginning that he is attracted to her, and you can also tell that he is a very like intuitive person. He picks up on little things, like he can feel, he can sense that Collins tenses up when they talk about home, and I just feel like he is a very empathetic soul. And that's probably going to be good for Collins because she is kind of like the black sheep of her family. Even though everybody in her family loves her, they've kind of accepted that she's gone away to do her own thing. She may not really come back to Sweetwater. And so lo and behold, when she comes back, everybody's kind of like, the prodigal child has returned. She is a photographer. She has made quite the name for herself being a photographer, but that line of work seems to not really be what she is up to at the moment, because when she returns to Sweetwater following the incident that we don't know anything about, she is just going to be Brady's upholsterer assistant. And that's where I am right now. The other thing that is important and what makes this perfect for spooky season is that Collins and her twin sister, it's a guy's name, Clark. Collins and Clark, they can both see ghosts. So they can sense the presence of otherworldly beings in their midst. Sometimes they appear more humanoid, sometimes they're kind of glitched out, but they can sense and communicate with these beings. It also seems like Collins hasn't really been able to use her gift in a little while, whereas Clark can. So I don't know like what the plot of the story is going to be, but right now Collins is just moving into her little apartment and starting her job at the upholsterer, and I'm having a good time. On Sprints, we've been talking about soup, which has been a common theme throughout this readathon, as well as things like Stephen King and Tiffany D. Jackson. So if you want to be in the know, make sure you join in on Sprints because we're having a good time. I did just make myself a giant bottle of water with some Skittle packets because I have been drinking too much of this and not enough of this. So we're about to hydrate so we don't dehydrate and read some more of this because I am picking up what they're putting down. I already feel chemistry. Let's read. Version of me that speaks to you on the first day of a readathon is always wildly different from like the version of me that exists in real life. Let me explain. I told you yesterday on Sprints that I was like, oh, I could finish soul searching in a day. Who is that person? Who is that person? Because it's not realistically me at all. I'm a sleepy girl, and a sleepy girl, what does she need? She needs to sleep. And so yesterday, after Sprints, that is promptly what I did. I fell right on asleep for like 3 hours. And then I woke up and it was time to go to pickleball, which I have not been to pickleball in a month and a half. So this was a very big deal for me yesterday. My physical therapist cleared me to go play. They told me like to avoid bending down as much as possible. So I avoided that, but I did go play, and I meant to play for an hour. I played from 5:30 until 10 p.m. There were a few breaks in there. But yeah, I played a lot of pickleball, and then that means today I'm sore and tired and dehydrated. So I have just been playing catch up. It's like being athletically hungover, you know? I'm not making sense. Let's talk about the book. I have been reading on and off today, but I have not gotten very far. I'm at chapter 10, which is essentially page 100. It's 97, but saying page 100 makes me feel better. And I am just loving this little book right here. It is everything about a Lila Sage romance, except we have like ghosties thrown in because Collins can see ghosts. She never had a problem seeing ghosts. She's having a problem hearing from the ghosts right now, and I think Brady is going to help her reconnect with her ghosty friends. And it's so sweet because her first impression of Brady is that he's boring, and as somebody who often feels that that is people's first impression of me, I really like his character. I think that he is a soft character. I think he's sweet. I think he's very empathetic and not only in touch with his emotions, I think he is very in touch with other people's emotions, but he does seem very guarded. There was a past relationship that continually he's not ready to talk about, and he just seems like he is protecting his heart, even though from the very beginning you can tell he is attracted to Collins. And then Collins is a sad girl character. Like she is the millennial emo who never got over being emo. She feels like she doesn't fit in with her family even though they love her so very much. She just doesn't feel like her puzzle piece was cut exactly to fit within her family. And so even though she's back with them and they're loving having her home, she just doesn't feel at home in her home. I'm saying the word home a lot. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but both of these characters have things that I am finding that I relate to, and I still don't really know what the plot is other than it seems like they are helping each other fix things in their life that they might not have realized that they could fix on their own. So she's just going about her life helping him in his upholstery shop. They've run some errands together. They've organized the shop together, and it's very sweet, very wholesome, very cutesy. And I'm going to keep reading this today because I'm doing Patreon sprints in just a little bit, but I did just order dinner. Zelda, I'm sorry guys, my cat is going to make the tripod wonky. You want to just settle down? You come here? You come here? Okay. I just ordered dinner because I still had money on my DoorDash card. Hey, yeah, you're so beautiful. So the first thing is this Witch's Brew lemonade, which don't be confused, it has nothing to do with the Alani drink of a Witch's Brew. It's just like green apple lemonade. And then this is all from McAllister's. If you don't have a McAllister's, I'm so sorry. I freaking love McAllister's. I got a spicy pepper jack turkey sandwich, which is my favorite sandwich from there. And then I got a little cup of veggie chili as my side, which I might not eat tonight. I might save that, but I'm gonna eat and then get back to reading. Transition. This is a book about a girl who can speak to ghosts, and so far the most unrealistic thing to me, who is somebody that buys food like and is scared of running out of food. So the most unrealistic thing to me is that this man has had a bag of frozen corn sitting in his freezer for over a year. If I buy vegetables, I have a plan for them. I don't understand, but they're cute together.
Oh my Lord, never met no one like you before. She is so unimpressed.
Check on the tree. So we back.
Hello everybody. I am back home after a little Saturday morning outing, which was so much fun. I did roll on the board before I left because I wanted to go ahead and get an activity prompt, knowing that I'm still in the middle of reading Soul Searching, and if I want to make progress through the board in the next 48 hours, I needed to accomplish something else. So here's my roll. You can see I landed on equipment, and I decided to do the activity prompt, which I don't have in front of my face right now, but I believe it was like just do something seasonal. And so when I was at the coffee shop, I got a pumpkin spice brown sugar vanilla latte, which was lovely. I'm wearing, you can't see it, Zelda's on me, but I'm wearing my Cozy Club member shirt. And then Brent and I planned an upcoming trip that we have. Guys, we have a little fund that we will just put money in whenever we have like a spare $5, $10, $15. So we'll just set that aside and then not touch it. And then when the time comes, we will use it for things like travel or food. And so we're using that fund, and we decided on this trip that we're gonna splurge a little bit, and we made reservations for a Michelin star restaurant. I'm so excited. I will definitely take y'all along and show you in the aftermath. Obviously, I'm not gonna talk about where we're going due to like privacy reasons, but you will know soon. And so we just planned that trip. We planned our food. We planned what we're going to be doing on that trip, when we're leaving, all that stuff. And then we walked around this cute little area. We got breakfast. We split a breakfast burrito, and I got my fall coffee. And then we just walked around the green, and there's also a place that does like pizza and ice cream and milkshake, so we stopped and we split a milkshake. Now I'm home. I did wake up early for all of the fall activities this morning, so I'm about to take a nap because that has been the theme of this weekend. I'm just a napping lady. And then we will finish soul searching because I am still reading it. I'm still loving it, but I wanted to get on an update about my morning because I did have a really, really fun time, and I'm just excited about things coming up in the future. We also stopped inside a little pet store and I got to play with the kitty cats. Anyway, it's definitely nap time. I am not an early riser, and when I'm on a break like this, I just want to sleep. I want to sleep all the time. So back to sleep we go. Then we'll finish a book, and then we'll probably do 1 to 2 more rolls depending on activities or books. I think I could fit a thriller or one of those horror short stories from Amazon, or one of the like romance creature horror stories that came out recently. So I think we'll get some more reading done, but I really need to honor the fact that I don't have responsibilities right now, and if my body says nap, then doggone it, we're gonna nap. Well guys, here we are on a Sunday evening, weekend 2 of Halloweekend, and somehow I only read 1 book this weekend, but I did make it to the doorway, the threshold of another room. I went ahead and rolled again after I finished soul searching, which I'll talk about in just a second, and I got either read a book with 1 POV, which I am not going to have time to do, or do something outside, which I have done a lot of this weekend. I have gone for a walk, I played pickleball Thursday night, and yesterday I spent a lot of time outside. I want to talk about soul searching first though before I get into lifey stuff, because for some of you guys, I know you're just here for the book. So this morning I decided to just stay in bed and finish this book until I was finished, and I had such a good time. So the thing about this book for me is I could give or take the ghost plot. I could give or take some of the other things that were going on in the story. The plot essentially is trying to save the family business, but the characters 100% are what did it for me, because I saw myself reflected in both of them. Brady is a character that comes across as boring at first glance. Like, it feels like there's not much to him. It feels like he doesn't care about a lot, but the more you crack his shell, the more you find out about him. He is nerdy, he is geeky, he is so empathetic and in tune with other people's emotions, and he's one of those people that, like, when he's interested in somebody, he's going to be blunt about it, but then he's going to be really shy about it. When he gets flirtatious, he stutters and he gets nervous, and I just loved his character. And then Collins is a little bit more of a spunky spitfire, but at the same time, she also has this hard shell on her because she is one that would rather move around than face a problem head on. And she lets her twin sister kind of do that, which causes some friction between her and her family, which I also like was included in this book. But Collins is like, she's a little bit more edgy, but underneath you find that she is just a very, very soft character. And the two of them together were so good. If you have read Rebel Blue Ranch, I feel like there were more spicy scenes in Rebel Blue Ranch than there were in here, which I kind of appreciated, because this was really more about them discovering each other in a non-intimate way than it was, although, I mean, like, the intimate scene in here was written very, very well, but there were fewer of them than there were in the other books. I really like the way that their relationship developed. It reminded me of the way like a high school relationship will develop, where it starts as like flirty banter, and then you find that you're like intentionally bumping into each other's knee, and then it's evolving into putting your head on their shoulder. It was very slow and like developed physically while also developing with banter, but it developed very, very slowly and easily physically. And Collins would take Brady around and show him her favorite places, and it felt like a high school relationship, not in an immature way, but just in a getting to know each other way, but in 30-year-old bodies. I don't know if I'm explaining it very well, but it gave me a lot of nostalgia, and just, yes, there were sensual scenes, but it was still the innocence of falling for somebody, and I really enjoyed that about soul searching. So I think I still like Rebel Blue Ranch more but I rated this a 4-star just because the ending happened so fast and there were some like legal things that went on with saving the business that I kind of rolled my eyes at. But overall, I really enjoyed this and I cannot wait for the second book, which is Clark's book, and Clark is Collins's twin sister. So this book was very worth reading. For Halloweekend, it gets my seal of approval, as every Lila Sage does. But let's wrap this up by talking about the rest of my weekend because I wasn't really on camera all that much. Yesterday, I left off, we went to breakfast, we planned a trip, and then I came back home and napped because napping has been the theme of this weekend and of my entire fall break. And then I had a text inviting me to go to Thai for dinner, and so that was very good. Picture of my Thai food. I split some curry and some crunchy chicken with Brent, and then my group of friends went to a little milkshake place. And okay, you guys have to know what I'm talking about. When you were in high school and you go somewhere and then you just kind of take over the parking lot for the night, like you're just sitting outside in the cool fall air and laughing and being stupid and having conversations, and that's what it felt like. It felt like the perfect high school fall night, and we were out there for hours, just like not being annoying, but like being ridiculous. And I needed it. I was telling somebody else about it and I was like, I needed a night like that to combat the multitude of silver hairs I'm finding on my head. I love that. I love that so much. But that was my weekend. Yeah, I wish it was more exciting. I can't really speak to whether the next Halloween weekend will be exciting or not because for half of it I will be on the road, but I'm still going to try and vlog. So y'all stay tuned for a road trip Halloween weekend vlog. We'll see how successful that is, but I do have to go back to work tomorrow, which is très sad. If you watched all the way to the end of this video, the only emoji that is appropriate this week is a ghost. So please leave me a ghost. Leave me any kind of comment you want down below. I have all of my social media, including my Patreon, linked in the description box, and I will see you guys in another video very soon. Bye guys.